Scott were born in 1997 and became best friends when they were 6. Grew up together and started a band and bonded over music ever since. 20 years later, they are all grown up and spend their free time analyzing lyrics. Now here they are talking all about their Lord and Savior, Dr. Taylor Allison Swift. Taylor, if you're listening, we love you.
Oh, hey.
Hi, everyone.
Welcome to Swift Lore Podcast, where we dive into lyrics and lore of our Lord and Savior, Dr. Taylor Allison Swift.
Absolutely, that's why we are here.
And here we are. I'm Kat.
I'm Abby.
And we are in my new apartment.
Woo!
In the big city.
It's
big suburb.
If you are watching this, there's nothing on the wall behind us right now, but obviously we plan on changing that, making it really, really cool, really cute. Also, I dyed my hair.
Yes, Abby is a redhead now.
Yeah.
She looks very Sadie Sink all too well.
Thank you. Thank
you.
you.
Lay down.
We are still working out the kinks of our arrangement in the new place.
Yeah, I thought that putting Spear's bed in her crate would make her quieter. It didn't.
She has flipped the bed and is now under it for those who aren't in the apartment, aka everyone listening. The other cool thing that's currently happening as we speak, Taylor Swift is in Buffalo,
which is not far from us. And my uncle is at the game in a suite 4 suites down from Taylor.
Ain't life wild? So today,
because I just moved, I'm covering Never Grow Up.
Oof, I'm covering Welcome to New York. Isn't that crazy how you're doing a sad song and I'm doing a bop?
It's because it was discussed that we do Never Grow Up in 15 together, and then we were like, that's too depressing.
I would, yeah.
That's simply too sad. Like, that would not be.
It wouldn't be fun for anyone.
It would not. Like, Never Grow Up, I was literally writing my notes right before this, because obviously crazy weekend moving and stuff, and I literally was crying. Like, Abby's sitting over here, over on the bench.
There's just a sniffling happening.
Yeah. I had to literally get up and get a tissue.
Would you believe that I made Welcome to New York sad?
I would. I would believe it.
So strap in, folks, because we are in a new apartment. We've got new hair.
We're out here.
We are out here.
So
who's going first?
I feel like I should go first so we can end on a high note.
Okay.
Never Grow Up. So this song is track 8 on Speak Now and Speak Now Taylor's version. Like every song on Speak Now, it was solo written by Taylor. The way that I was trying to figure out who wrote the song, and I was like furiously Googling it. Like, that's how tired I was yesterday when I started my notes. So I'm like, but where's the writing? And then I was just like, Jesus Christ. It's like the entire point of Speak Now. Like, that's the whole thing.
Right.
So that's where I'm at mentally, just for the viewers at home.
I get it.
Allegedly, this was written in like summer 2010, shortly before Speak Now came out, because she had just moved into her first ever apartment in Nashville. That apartment cost over $1 million. I rent.
I couldn't even imagine having that much money.
That much money.
At what, like 19?
Yeah.
Okay.
In terms of the performance history of this song, it's been. I wish I knew how to talk.
I'm so glad we have a podcast when we both know how to talk so well.
It's such a good way for us to work on our language skills as 2 native English speakers. So this has been played live 8 times before.
Woof.
4 times on the Speak Now tour in 2011, and most recently it was played on night 1 in Kansas City, the day that Speak Now came out. So it was like, surprise song o'clock, woohoo, bam, I Can See You music video, bam, the flip of it all, bam, let's all cry now. And then she played Never Grow Up as the guitar surprise song. Like, imagine the emotional whiplash.
The people that were at that show, the 80,000 of you at that show,
was
you
that
okay?
also the night that Travis was at, or was he at night 2?
Oh my goodness, I don't even know.
I think maybe he was there.
I don't know, but did you survive? Are you okay? Please let us know.
I remember seeing a video of a little girl and her mom were at the concert, and this song played, and it's just the mom like cradling her daughter and crying.
No.
The first tears of the episode in my eyes. Why did I turn into a fucking pirate? My eyes.
Me eyes are.
The eyes are red. Sorry, that's only funny to me. Anyways.
I was just sitting here like, am I supposed to
I
get
was
that?
thinking the song that like Ed Sheeran would cover. Like, my eyes are red. I've been burning.
Oh.
But a song like a pirate.
It's a Sunday night. It is pretty late. Once again.
Yeah, you're getting late night Swift lore.
Late Sunday Swift lore.
Closing time. So just diving into lyrics here. Overall, it's just like this really sweet like lullaby about staring at like a child that you love and like wanting them to stay that like innocent and young and precious forever, and knowing that like they won't.
I just realized I'm not emotionally prepared for what the song is about to
No,
bring
you're
me.
not.
Okay, continue.
Your little hands wrapped around my finger. Babies holding hands, a classic.
So freaking cute when their whole hand is around.
Their whole hand is like around the tip of your, because they're so little.
It feels like you're chosen when a baby does that.
Like a couple of my cousins have babies, and like that's usually my go-to is like, all right, here's my finger. And then they hold your finger and you're like, this is amazing. And then they were like, won't let go. And you're like, they're so sweaty. How are they sweaty?
You are a baby. What do you have to
I
sweat
hope
about?
that's sweat on your hands and not miscellaneous baby goo. You know how babies are just always wet?
Babies are gross. I
So
love
yucky.
them.
It's so quiet in the world tonight. Just like
Like
a
no
little
worries.
cocoon of like, there's nothing going on. There's nowhere you need to be. It's quiet and like,
Oh, to be a baby with nothing going on.
oh, to be a baby without your full auditory processes running yet, you know?
That's still how I am.
Fair enough.
Anyway.
In conclusion, Abby is baby.
Oh my God, just rearrange the letters in my name.
I'm just imagining you like suddenly turn into like Boss Baby.
No, I can already picture the meme.
I can see it now.
Oh gosh.
Your little eyelids flutter because you're dreaming. And so like this line really just like brings you into the setting like we talked about a lot before of where the song is like her watching this baby sleeping. And like just watching them like have little dreams and their eyes are fluttering, and how like innocent and cute and sweet they are, and just thinking about like, wow, the world's gonna fuck you up so bad. The intrusive thoughts hit, and Taylor said, let's just do a devastating song about this.
Yeah, it's really tough. I remember my little baby niece, I love her so much, and just seeing her and having this moment where I was just like, oh man, I will not be able to protect you from all the horrors of the world.
Life is great, but then, you know, the horrors.
Also, I'm sorry I can't say the word horror. I can't say it. It just sounds like whores. I apologize.
Wow, the intro of WAP just got a whole new meaning. There's some horrors in this house.
It's really a Halloween song. If you listen carefully. If you listen with an auditory processing disorder. We laugh because we have to.
So I tuck you in, turn on your favorite nightlight. Just like nightlights as a symbol of childhood innocence are so cute, because it's just like when you're a kid, you're allowed to be afraid of things, and it's just like a cute, sweet, like, oh, we're gonna put on your nightlight because you're afraid of the dark because you don't know what the real monsters are yet.
Did you have a nightlight?
No, because I can't remember. I think that my parents would just like leave the door of my room like cracked a little bit. But when I was a kid, I used to like imagine that I was terrified of E.T. So I would imagine that every time I looked into the dark, that E.T. was there. Just a little overshare for the pod. Yeah, I was terrified of E.T. and my brother would use that against me. I'm pretty sure.
E.T. is terrifying.
He's a weird, like, I know he's like friendly or whatever. He looks incorrect.
I would personally be terrified if I saw him. I had a nightlight in my room. I had several, but one I remember in my childhood bedroom, I had a rainbow that would cast on my wall. Very gay of me.
I was about to say Easter egg.
I had a rainbow, and my mom had a rule that when we went to sleep, we could either listen to a CD or watch Fantasia. Those were the two options. Have us fall asleep.
So cute.
And usually we would choose Fantasia because, like, it's a movie, right? But when I didn't watch Fantasia, I would listen to the Wiggles CD a lot, falling asleep. So
cute.
Anyway, that's my
why
overshare.
You love fruit salad.
Yummy, yummy. Am I right?
So never grow up.
It's just that I'm scared, guys. I have to make jokes because I'm scared.
The deflection of it all.
Okay.
To you, everything's funny. Just like little kids laughing at stuff is so cute. Like when babies just like laugh at stuff. My cousin's baby is really obsessed with chandeliers. Like he'll just stare at them. And like it's so fun because sometimes like when he stops staring at chandeliers, you'll like do a funny face and then he giggles and you're like, this is amazing.
That's so cute.
It's so cute. He'll just
everything is funny because like everything's funny and great to a baby. They don't literally know nothing.
It's all jokes all the time.
To be a baby.
You got nothing to regret. And just like looking at them and being like, you don't know that like the world is gonna like chew you up and spit you out yet. Like there's nothing for you to regret because you haven't done anything yet.
And the implication that Taylor as a 19-year-old already knows and already has regrets.
I regret you all the time.
Don't
I
lie.
connected to would have, could have, should have another time in the song.
Great.
Warning.
Wonderful. Awesome.
Okay. I'd give all I have, honey, if you could stay like that. Sad. That's all I got.
No.
Literally all that I wrote is just sad.
No.
It's just like you're just staring at this child that you care about so much and just wanting them to not grow up and not experience the pain of growing up.
Earlier when you talked about watching the baby sleep, I was like Edward Core. Now you're talking about staying young forever. I was like Bella Core.
Yo, I saw a TikTok earlier, late Twilight tangent, from this creator who makes all of her videos about Twilight. I can't remember her name and I'm not looking it up. But she was talking about how like canonically Renesmee was born with like a fully developed brain. So she was just like, yeah, so because her parents both turned at like 17 and 18, their frontal lobes were not developed, but hers is. So she was more emotionally mature, fresh out the womb than her parents.
It's the opposite of this song.
It's the opposite of the song. Thanks for getting it back on track. So now that we're done talking about that, oh darling, I love that she keeps using like the little pet names because it's like I'd give all I have, honey. Oh darling, don't you ever grow up, just to show like how fond she is of this child and like how much she loves them, and like it's just so cute and sweet.
It reminds me of that Halsey song, Darling.
Which she did write about her son.
Yeah. And that song is also it's beautiful and a real tear jerker as well.
Yeah, that's another one. That's a skip unless I have time to cry. Oh, that's the other thing that I forgot to say before this. When Speak Now TV came out, I was listening to it on repeat while I was painting my old office, which is weird to say. And every single time that Never Grow Up came on, I would just like sob. It was a good time.
I think I've listened to this song 4 times.
Ever?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It is one of those songs where I can't. But it's like burned into my head. Like I could sing the entire thing.
That's fair. I feel like whenever I have kids, this is going to be their lullaby.
Why?
Because I love to be in emotional distress.
Okay.
Don't you ever grow up. There's no way to protect anyone from the world once they've grown up. The only way to keep a child safe is if they could stay children forever, but that's not a realistic wish. You can't shield them from the world because then they lose out on all the good things by, avoiding the bad. Mm-hmm. And it also reminds me a little bit of Haunting of Hill House, how the mom in Haunting of Hill House is manipulated by the ghost. Spoiler, whatever, it came out like 5 years, 6. 5.
Go watch it, though.
Go watch it, please. This isn't that big of a spoiler, but she's
order.
manipulated by the ghosts, like telling her that like when her children go out into the world, like they'll basically be chewed up and spit out, but said in a much more poetic way that I don't remember exactly. I don't remember. And then she kind of just keeps repeating like, don't ever grow up, stay this little, don't ever grow up. It could stay this simple. Because things are so simple when you're a kid. And I also connected this part to the best day and how like the simple understanding of the world that she talks about having as a kid. Like, I don't know why all the trees change in the fall. I know you're not scared of anything at all. Don't know if Snow White's house is near or far away. But I know I had the best day with you today. And then the like the post bridge verse, which there is also a post bridge verse 3 in this song too. So like the song structure parallels the best day and never grow up too.
Wow.
Which, ouch.
Big ouch.
There's a video I found from back when I was 3. You set up a paint set in the kitchen. You're talking to me. It's the age of princesses and pirate ships and the 7 dwarves. And Daddy's smart and you're the prettiest lady in the whole wide world. Ouch. The best day is a song that I can't listen to without crying as well.
My soul has left my body.
That's
my soul
so
has
valid.
left the building.
Bye. Yeah, just like the best day is talking about how much she loves her parents, and this song is talking about how much she loves like a child.
The
so
best
it's kind
day
of like her her growing up and realizing she's on the other side of being a child.
Wow. You can tell, like, it's so interesting which songs are the ones that make me too sad. Because I'll listen to This Is Me Trying, like, just casually. But these ones? Hell no.
Too ouchy. I know. I literally didn't even listen to the song to prep for this because I knew that I would have a full-on sob. I won't let nobody hurt you. Won't let no one break your heart. Again, it's like the kind of platitudes that you say to a child. Like knowing it's not realistic, but saying like, no one's ever going to hurt you. No one's ever going to desert you. And like knowing that it's going to happen, but like you'll be there to support them when it does.
Mm-hmm.
But it's easier to say like, it's never going to happen instead of, it's inevitability. Womp womp. Just try to never grow up. You can try all you want, but like you're always gonna grow up. Like that's just inevitable. Change is the only constant. But then also like the bravest thing that you can do is like see the world through childlike eyes, knowing like how fucked up stuff can be. And that's to me like part of trying to never grow up is trying to keep that like innocence and belief in the world.
It reminds me of, and I've mentioned this before, but The Great Gatsby with Daisy saying, I hope she'll be a beautiful fool, as in her daughter. Because being a fool is like what, the easiest way to be or the smartest way to be or something like that?
The best way, yeah.
Something like that. And it's true.
Verse 2. You're in the car on the way to the movies. Like the use of you pronouns here is so interesting because this whole verse is talking about like being 14 and being embarrassed about your parents. And like the way that she's projecting onto this child, like their future based on her past experiences. It's like she's warning them about the things that she regrets from her past so that they don't make the same mistakes as her, knowing that like they're probably going to because it's so common to be ashamed of like being around your parents when you're 14. You're mortified, your mom's dropping you off. And like, Taylor has talked about like dating kind of like older guys when she was a freshman in high school, which she would have been like 14, 15 around that time. Mm-hmm. And like the idea of her just being like around her cool older friends and being so embarrassed that like she can't drive and like she's younger than everybody else, and having her mom drop her off around the block is just, you can't wait to move out someday and call your own shots. Because you think being a grown-up is like being cool in like sitcoms and like in movies and stuff, and you see like this idealized version of like young adulthood that isn't realistic necessarily. Like there are the good moments, but there's also the horrors.
Yeah.
But don't make her drop you off around the block. Again, like saying don't be ashamed of your parents. Remember that she's getting older too.
I hate it. Nope.
That
No.
I'm crying. Like,
No.
I literally, I have tears in my eyes every single time that I think of this line. It's so like devastating.
I think there's one about the dad, and that one will get me. I don't remember what it is yet.
That's in The Best Day, I think.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway,
This line is devastating.
the mortality of my parents. Nope, we're not going to think about it or talk about it ever.
And just like the idea that like, yeah, you're growing up, but your parents are still also growing up. Cause like, I remember there was something like on TikTok that went around that was like, it's their first time being parents too. Like it's their first time doing this too. And it's like, oh God, that's just, oh.
Parents aren't perfect.
And
They're
once you
people
like,
too.
I think, and another thing she's getting at with this line is the idea that like your parents are people. And like, that's one of the weirdest things to realize when you're growing up, that like your parents are literally like, they're just people. Like they have their own like entire backstory and like lives and like inner workings and like past events and experiences that you don't know or understand when you're younger because they're shielding you from the world.
It's
Ouch.
making me think about The Summer I Turned Pretty.
Yes.
I really, really enjoy about that show how they have the teen storylines and at the same time the parent storylines. And there's even a scene where Belly talks about like, I've been worrying about my teenage drama this whole time, and like all this other stuff was happening and I wasn't, privy to it.
Yeah.
So.
And then the mom is just basically like, yeah, we didn't want you to, like, we wanted you to experience your silly teen drama.
Yeah, and it was just so poignant to see the two different lives, like all the care in the family united, but at the same time, each of them were dealing with things separately. It's kind of a tangent, but that's just what this is making me think of.
I think. And don't lose the way that you dance around in your PJs getting ready for school. It's just such a like innocent little image of like getting ready for school and just being excited and like dancing around and kind of like procrastinating, actually getting ready. It's just such a sweet thing.
And also, like, it makes me think, so Taylor's looking at it like a literal baby while she's singing this song, and she's putting on all of her own experiences onto this baby.
It's projection 101.
Yeah, and so when she's saying these things, like, don't stop dancing in your room, like, Taylor danced in her room. That's what she's saying. It's making me think of the You Belong With Me music video.
Yeah. In the way that, like, she's saying you can grow up, but, like, don't lose these little silly innocent things that people love to do. Like I still think of this line every time that I'm like getting ready and I dance around. I think about this line and like I don't know, there's a kind of like bittersweetness to moments like that because you're just like so happy and then you're just like, right, the horrors. How many times will I say the horrors in this episode? And then the choruses again as choruses.
The chorus.
The chorus. Take pictures in your mind of your childhood room.
Ow.
So my childhood home that I lived in until I was like 9, I like hated my room when I lived there because I was like, it's small and I don't like it. I was a brat. But I remember the last day that like that house was ours before it went to the new people. Like my family went and, did our like final walkthrough and stuff. And I just went into my room and laid on the ground and cried and was like, I don't want to move. I changed my mind. I want to stay here.
Yeah.
And like,
it's
like that's
harrowing.
A very distinct memory from that time where I don't have a lot of very distinct memories, but I remember. And my mom, anytime I talk about it, and I'm like, it's such a like bittersweet memory for me. My mom's like, I was so annoyed. You hated that fucking room and you wouldn't get up. Which I think is really funny.
My childhood bedroom, so I lived in a house. We moved there when I was like 3 or 4 months old. And I had the same paper. My grandfather picked it out. I had the same wallpaper on my bedroom up until like the whole time I lived there. We lived there till I was 14 originally. No, 12. And then we moved back in when I was 14. It was like a really weird thing where I moved back into my childhood bedroom and it was like, hey, I get to be a kid again. And I stayed there until I was about 18 years old. But that wallpaper always stayed. And I have checked the Zillow listing of my childhood home. And of course, the wallpaper is long gone.
Oh.
It is the most devastating
That
thing.
is devastating. My childhood home got turned into corporate housing.
Wow, really? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, it did.
Yeah, because like a like older couple bought it for my parents. And then I guess when they sold it, it was like for like long-term stay for corporate people. So that's like the worst. I'm sure they didn't keep my Disney princess wall colors and ceiling color. I insisted on painting my ceiling purple.
And it was iconic.
So in conclusion, we did take pictures in our minds of our childhood.
I do have
That word, like every time she sings it, it just keeps going.
legend has it she's still singing it today.
I stayed there. Memorize what it sounded like when your dad came home.
That's the dad line.
Oh, that's the dad line. I think I blacked it out. Like my childhood.
This is horrible. This song is, it's not horrible. It's just
It's devastating.
It hurts me.
It hurts the most.
Because it's like, I'm sure you're going to say it, but like leaving like a father.
I wasn't going to say that.
I'm so sorry.
Ooh.
But like, I hate it.
Oh no, I hate that.
I hate
no,
it.
memorize what it sounds like when your dad gets home to leaving like a father. Because he's not going to come home eventually. God damn, Abby.
I'm sorry.
But also just like the small detail of this in like the next few lines where it's remember the footsteps, remember the word said, like those small details that seem so like completely innocuous at the moment. But then when you are looking back and remembering them, they're like the details that you hang on to and that make a memory feel real, like anchor it in your mind.
And it's all the details that Taylor often includes in her songs when she's setting the scene. It's just these like little innocuous things, but
it's these things that like really evoke a time and place and emotion from you and from other people.
Yeah.
And remember your little brother's favorite songs? Like it's just such an amazing way to say like remember the little things about the people that you care about, because like those little things are just so important. It's ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. I just realized everything I have is someday gonna be gone.
I don't know if I'm crying or laughing. I think it's both.
Yeah, that's. Do we pull it? Do you need a hug?
No, don't touch me. I have to add it to my list of cries. I'm breaking out the spreadsheet.
But I just realized everything I have is someday gonna be gone. It's just, this is the line that every time I'm listening, if I don't cry at the remember she's getting older too, this is the other line that makes me cry, because the idea of her staring at this child that she's singing to and thinking about how the world will eventually change and shape and hurt them makes her realize that her life is completely different from when she was a child, and she's just reflecting on her own journey of growing up while looking at this child. Is just
She's so young to be thinking these things.
But like I feel like 18, 19 is also that age where you realize these things.
Yeah.
Or actually, wait, she would have been 21 when she was writing this. So I feel, it's like one of those things where you're in it and you're like starting to realize that you're not a kid anymore.
I can't with that line.
So here I am in my new apartment in a big city. They just dropped me off. Paralleling the second verse when she's getting dropped off around the block at the movies. The idea of her getting dropped off and now she's alone in her apartment, like they left because she lives alone now. And just the reality of that sinking in of like, it's so much colder than I thought it would be.
Ow.
Get a dog, Taylor. It doesn't fix it, but it helps.
And this is like, we've shifted to present tense, right?
Yeah, this is like after, so she's had this full moment of staring at this child, and I have a kind of devastating theory that I just came up with. What if she was watching like an old family video of like her as a kid and like is staring at herself and saying never grow up?
Yep, that's one way to look at it.
That's a way to look at it. So it's so much cooler than I thought it would be. Like, when you think about your first apartment when you're like young and you're like, oh my God, I'm gonna get my first apartment, it's gonna be so cool. Like, it is cool, but it takes time to feel like home. When you first move in, it's just like, this is just a place that I am, that all my stuff is in. Like, it doesn't feel like home at first. And so if you expect to like move in and have it immediately be like, oh my God, it feels like home, like I'm home, this is so amazing, it won't feel like that. And you don't realize that when you first move into your first place. Like, I remember this was my college dorm, like moving in and just like crying as soon as my parents left, but then also being annoyed with myself for crying because I was like, I've been wanting to get the fuck away from my parents for months because I was an angsty little 18-year-old and like having like the reality of actually being alone is so ouch. So I tucked myself in and turned my nightlight on because there's nobody else to do it for her. Like, she was so convinced that she needed to be a grown up and like refuse help and like be alone, and now she has to deal with the loneliness of independence. Wish I'd never grown up. This line has me crying like Sadie Sink in the All Too Well short film.
That full body sob.
That full body curled up in bed sob, because like at this point in the song, if I'm like listening to it, usually I'll only listen to the song if I want to cry or if I'm prepared to cry. So like this is the point at which like the full body sobs really be hitting.
No, this song is rough, man. This song is rough.
So then she goes into the next chorus and she changes the pronouns from you to I.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want to grow up. Like the switch from I for this first part of the chorus, it's just so heart-wrenching. Like, she's throwing a tantrum almost. It's very like 7 core of just her like, I don't want to grow up. I regret growing up. I don't want to do this. Like, I think, but there's no way to comfort her because there's nobody there to sing lullabies to her because she grew up and she's alone.
I think your theory about her watching a family video or something, I think that's really valid. I think she's been talking to herself for most of the song, her younger self.
And like imagining going into her own like nursery and taking care of her younger self also is like a really sweet, sad image.
I mean, that's a whole thing in therapy, is inner child work.
Yeah.
Nurturing that younger part of you and telling them the things that you wish you'd heard at the time.
Yeah. I could still be little. Like this idea of her still feeling so childlike, and like pleading to still have the comfort and like safety and naivety of childhood. And also, this is where I made a would've, could've, should've connection if I was a child. Because clearly like she's having this like the Speak Now era, she's having this first like breath of independence, but still feeling like a child and unsure of herself and her place in the world. Ouch. And then she switches back to the you, and she's just like, yeah, right, oops, this isn't about me. This is about this child, right, you. I'm just a girl.
Brief tangent where I talk about myself for a bit, but we're gonna just move on past that. I don't want to think about me anymore.
And then she just keeps going, and like the instrumental is very like soft and like lush and just ouchy.
Yeah.
It just be ouchy. That's the last of my notes for the lyrics. So we survived it. My discussion question is, how devastating do you find this song?
On a scale of 1 to 10?
On a scale of 1 to 10.
1989.
That's so real. Like I said, I literally can't listen to the song without crying. Like, it has to be a skip because it's so devastating.
This one really hurts. The concept of aging and getting old. I mean, that's the song "Landslide" is one that I can't really listen to. There's a one song my brother used to play it to tease me because it always made me cry. But it's one that goes, 15, there's still time for you. I don't know that song. There's never a wish better than this. Anyway, if y'all know it, that song used to make me very sad when I was growing up. Just this concept of losing things that you can never get back, learning things that you can never unlearn.
Yeah, and thinking about like this versus like would've, could've, should've, where in that song it's like the Pandora's box is open and things are out and over, and like this song being that like desperate plea to get back to that childhood innocence. It's ouchy.
It is.
It's very ouch core.
Can we talk about some good things about growing up?
I got this apartment.
This is a nice apartment.
I love this place. It's really great.
It's
There's
really
dog
great.
parks for the dogs, like my dog.
For example.
Which having a dog is great. That's actually why I moved out from my parents' house, because I moved in with them after college because I graduated in 2020. So like I was already there. And the reason I moved out is because my parents, mainly my dad, was like, you can't get a dog if you live here. And I was like, well, then I will not live here anymore. And then they called my bluff. I lived in the shittiest studio apartment known to man.
It was kind of a vibe, though.
It was kind of a vibe because it was just so shitty that it like had to be a bit. Like my upstairs neighbor would like not close their shower curtain and water would pour into my apartment. Like it was awful.
Another good thing about growing up is that I'm trying to make things happy. Cat's just like, anyway.
But I have like fond memories of that apartment too.
I do too. There's an independence to it that's really nice.
Yeah.
I love that at 11 p.m. if I want to go to the grocery store and buy myself a cake, I can do that.
I'm grown up now. I buy my grocery at the grocery store.
As our great Rafaela once said. Well, she says it a few times in that song.
It's the chorus, so it choruses.
It does. But there are some good things to growing up as well. But this is definitely a
Like
hard
getting a
one.
dog.
Like getting
Or a
a dog
cat.
or a cake.
Dog, cat, cake. All great. Should only eat one.
Oh, God.
Abby's thinking, do I need to edit that out?
No, I'm keeping it in.
That's good.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
All
now
right.
on a totally different vibe.
Welcome to New York.
It's been waiting for you.
The majority of my notes are about the background and controversy surrounding this song because, as you
It's a bad
may
song.
know,
Kidding, kind of.
here's the thing. I am going to do my darndest to convince you guys that it's not.
I think that I just like it less than the rest of 1989.
I think that I might change your mind.
Okay.
I know that's a bold assumption, but I'm going to be talking a lot about that, less on the lyrics because, as you might be aware, it's mostly the same thing repeated over and over again.
It's been waiting for you.
It's been waiting for you.
It's got a real sense of foreboding. I was talking about my fortune cookie.
Oh my gosh, please.
Yesterday, I got Chinese food with my parents for like my first night in the apartment. How cute. I got this fucking fortune cookie that said, enjoy yourself while you can. And then I made a meme that like, I bring a sort of
Try again.
I bring a sort of foreboding vibe to the moving day that people don't really like. And then I photoshopped on the, Snapchat edited on the fortune to like the face in the meme. It'll go in the meme dump. You'll see it. But
Amazing.
Like, it's the most, and then today I opened another one of the fortune cookies and I was like, is this one going to be like the ring? You're going to die in 7 days. But it just said, change your thoughts and you'll change the world. And I was like, I've gotten that before.
Wow.
Been there, done that. Got the delusion to back it up.
Oh, speaking of delusion, my Spotify daylists keep having Delulu in the title. What's the deal?
Is it the Delulu of it all?
It
Who's
might be.
texting so much. It's brilliant.
It's the group chat. Our group chat is going off right now because of the game in Buffalo that Taylor is at, so it's relevant.
I really should have schmoozed my way to that fucking box. I should have
You
schmoozed.
should have schmoozed. I can't say the word schmooze.
She kind of sounds like you say like sploosh, like the stuff from Holes. I watched Holes
Digging
recently.
up the hell. When have you not recently watched Holes? That's the question.
Well, sometimes it's been a while, and then I watch Holes again.
No, but that's the thing. It's like a
Sometimes
consistent
when I haven't
refresh.
watched it in a while, it'll pop up on Disney Plus, and I'm like, you know what? I should watch. It's been a while. Let me watch Holes.
It's a good movie.
It's like.
It's really
Sorry.
good.
I love Holes. I'm not gonna take it back, but like maybe I should.
Okay.
Let me just put a little. There we go. Now it's a bit.
Okay, now it's a bit.
So
Welcome to New York.
Well, the song is gay, so it's just fitting.
You're gay. Okay. So, first and foremost, some quick little fun facts here. It is the first track on Taylor's 5th studio album, 1989.
What?
Also on 1989 TV.
Makes sense.
It was originally released on October 20th, 2014, a week before the original stolen version came out on the 27th, and then the re-record came out also on October 27th, but 9 years later.
Wow.
Wow.
We were there.
That was when I ate pudding.
You did. You ate pudding, and then we recorded the podcast that day.
A clip of this song was played at an NFL game, and this was before Taylor's version came out, and everyone thought that it was Taylor's version, but it wasn't.
Womp womp.
That's what I wrote in my notes. I wrote womp womp. But then I knew I didn't have to say it because I know Kat.
Because you knew I would say it and then go, why did I say it? I gotta play the sound.
In the liner notes, the hidden message for this song was, we begin our story in New York, which is very fitting because this is the opening song to 1989, which is a very New York City inspired album.
True.
And in the US, it reached number 48 on the Billboard Hot 100 and was certified platinum by the Recording Industry Association of America. And Taylor donated all proceeds from the sales to the New York City Department of Education.
Stop.
She's perfect.
That's so... I just stopped crying.
Oh, get ready. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to make you like cry, but I do give depth to this song that this song deserves, all right? So, Taylor contacted Ryan Tedder, who's the co-writer and co-producer, through voice memo. She contacted him to help her with writing and producing this song. Ryan Tedder, who is the, I hope it's pronounced Tedder. If it's not, I apologize. Okay. His birthday is the day after mine, fun fact.
Oh my God, slave. That was my biblically accurate slave of the episode.
Biblically accurate. All right, moving on from that. He is the frontman and vocalist for One Republic, and he's also the songwriter and producer for a crap ton of artists. U2, Beyonce, Miley Cyrus, Ed Sheeran, Jonas Brothers, One Direction, Lady Gaga.
That's not how you say that one.
I know, but I wanted to say it weird.
Lady Gaga.
Anyway, a lot of artists. This song concludes a trilogy, starting with A Place in This World, Mean, which she says someday I'll be living in a big old city, and then Welcome to New York.
I'm sorry, I just factory reset.
I know. Isn't that cool?
Ouch.
Yeah.
So this song actually is even more fitting of the growing up theme than we thought.
Well, you were talking. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Just you wait. I'm about to give so much freaking depth to this song. I'm excited. Okay.
Sorry.
She performed this song in Tokyo, Japan on May 5th, 2015. December 12th, 2015 in, I think,
Melbourne?
Is it I think it's Melbourne.
It's Melbourne.
Melbourne, Australia? I think it's Melbourne.
Several Australian listeners.
Do we have several?
We have several.
What?
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah, a couple of them.
That's so exciting. It's so exciting to me that people are listening all over the world. Wow. I'm trying to pronounce everything correctly.
I'm not. Melbourne.
Melbourne.
How incorrect. Melbourne.
Melbourne, Australia. Keep listening to our podcast, folks. It was also the first song on the 1989 World Tour.
Fitting.
It was the surprise song in East Rutherford, New Jersey on July 20th, 2018 during the Reputation Stadium tour, and then again the surprise song in East Rutherford, New Jersey on May 28th, 2023, the day after we saw Era's tour.
Because I remember when we went, I was like, I fucking hope Welcome to New York is not our surprise song.
Yep.
I was very adamant. I was like, she can do any song and I will be hyped, but if it's Welcome to New York or me, I'm going to be disappointed.
It's interesting too, because last week we covered Maroon, which was the day before us.
Yeah.
And this week we're covering Welcome to New York, which was the day after. A little sandwich moment. This song is fun. It's cute. It's got a great catchy hook. It's got everything a pop song should have, honestly. It's just that it's not lyrically up to the same quote unquote standard as some of her other songs. Like, it's not, a lot of people don't like it because they think that it's unsophisticated, that it's idealistic, I have a lot of quotes where people are mean.
And a liar, empathetic, and perhaps even alone in life.
But I don't know. I think if someone else came out with this song, it would have literally topped the charts. It's just that people hold Taylor Swift to a very high standard.
It's because she's a genius.
Yeah. There were mixed reviews from critics, but a lot of them were bad. I already said that people thought they were unsophisticated, but some people really defended the production. They said it was bright and catchy. And then also, gay rights.
Gay rights.
This song has a line that is specifically saying boys and boys and girls, and we love that.
It's slay.
It is. Was that biblically accurate?
That was morally correct.
Okay.
So
There's a difference.
I already used my biblically accurate slate. Now I use my morally correct one.
Whatever gets you through the day. A big criticism of this song is that it neglects the real life socioeconomic issues that most city residents have to face. Like, a lot of people were upset that she did not include the downsides. I wrote a quote from good old Jason Lipschitz. He's back.
Like, okay, sorry she didn't write about the poverty line. What?
I know. So people are just like, that's not accurate. Like, okay.
Biblically accurate New York City. Not slay.
Not slay. So Jason, our pal Jason, said, while Swift perkily admires the city, she doesn't remark on the subway rats or waking up in closet-sized bedrooms. Who wants to sing about that?
I think another thing is, though, a lot of artists that write about New York City write about those issues in a really like romanticized way. Mm-hmm. So it's like people expect a song about New York to romanticize the shit, and instead she's ignoring it. And people don't like that.
No, and honestly, like, I get it. I get that criticism, but here, I can't say it any better than Taylor does, because this was her defense. She said, to take a song and try to apply it to every situation everyone is going through, economically, politically, in an entire metropolitan area, is asking a little too much of a piece of music.
That's so valid.
And like, literally, what do you expect from her? What do you expect? She cannot possibly please everyone all the time. The song is simply fun and idealistic, and that's okay.
Yeah. Let a bop be a bop.
I want to give a little shout out to this guy, Robert, I think it's Christgau, I think is his last name. He said, I think it's silly to demand sociology from someone who can't stroll Central Park without bodyguards.
That's, yeah. Because it's not like she can experience New York like other people experience New York. Mm-hmm. She literally... There's no possible way. Like, I think about her Rolling Stone interview when 1989 came out, where they were like going around New York and they're like sitting in like a gazebo in Central Park, and somebody literally like rowboated up to like talk to them, and then she just gave them like $200 cash.
I think I just saw a stalker got arrested outside her New York City apartment.
That sounds right. Yeah.
Like, this is the life she lives. So like, sorry. Sorry she's not writing about that.
She probably can't take the subway. It's probably like a terrorist
No, she couldn't
risk.
take the subway. She can't. But that's besides the point. It's not even about her level of fame. It's just like, not everything has to be about the horrors of the world.
Yeah, and not everything has to be about your specific experience. People can have other experiences, and yours is not invalid because she has a different one.
New York City and Company named her a tourism ambassador for New York City, and that was also controversial because people were just like, this song is a gentrification anthem, does not represent authentic New York. She's based in Nashville, so she's not a New York born and raised celebrity like Jennifer Lopez. Like, there was a whole thing. People were really up in arms about this song. And here's the thing. Here's why Taylor wrote this song and why I'm so, like, she wrote this song about moving from Nashville, which Kat just talked about, to New York City in April 2014. And she just said that New York City was like stronger than any other force of inspiration she's ever experienced in her life. She specifically said that she approached moving there with such wide-eyed optimism and saw it as a place of endless potential and possibilities. I dreamed about living in New York. I obsessed about moving to New York, and then I did it. So, manifesting queen.
We love that. Just like me, for real.
I did also... Okay, here's why I bring the depth, y'all. I highlighted wide-eyed optimism because coming off of Red, Your Sweet Disposition and My Wide-Eyed Gaze, she's coming off of this really horrible, the tumultuousness of Red, and she decides to leave that all behind, move to New York City, and start fresh, and that's what the song is about. But she still has that wide-eyed optimism. Like, he didn't take that from her.
Ouch. Even
though, like, in Red, a lot of the songs, New York Time, like, talking about New York City in Red.
Yeah, she was in Red. She was like dipping her toe in, and then 1989 she dove in.
Yeah. Also, she wrote that she said in a Rolling Stone interview that she was so intimidated by the city and its blaring honesty that she thought she couldn't make it there because she wasn't bold enough or brave enough. I'm like, hello? Taylor Swift is one of the most bold and brave people.
Yeah, like, ow. Like, if you can make it there, you can make it anywhere.
You sent me
New York, New York.
Truly. You sent me a TikTok talking about her musical monologue on SNL, and Seth Meyers was talking about how she showed up with her musical monologue already prepared and written, and went up to Lorne Michaels and was like, here's what I've prepared, and sang it. And they were like, that's funnier than anything we could have written for you.
Yeah, like the idea, like, and she did that during Fearless era.
She was 19.
Yeah, she was literally just a girl.
What do you mean you're not brave or bold? Come on, Taylor.
Because the idea that, and like, that's in New York. That's a big New York moment for her.
Yep.
And now she just casually pops on for a bit.
I talked before about moving from Red and then fully diving into New York City. And so I have, I wrote how freeing it would be to go through the horrible experience of Red and then move to New York City, a world of possibilities, and reclaim the land.
Oh,
As Taylor might say.
I love just uprooting your life because you got dumped. I love that for her.
Starting over.
Begin again.
Yeah. My personal connection is that I almost moved to New York City when I graduated college. I had so many plans, and then I graduated in 2020.
Well, so did I.
It did.
I finished grad school and you finished.
Oh, yeah. So it didn't quite happen for us now, did it?
No. We were going to do it, and then we didn't because of the horrors.
I also have a bit with myself where every time I see like a subway rat in New York City, I just go, welcome to New York. It's like not funny, but that's just my bit.
It's funny.
It's been waiting for you. So anyway.
Because one day the rat will sing back. And on that day, you're a real New Yorker.
That is when you're a real New Yorker. That's a full Enchanted moment. Go full Giselle.
Exactly. She became a New Yorker. She sang with the rats.
Oh, she sure did.
Now that's a transplant that did it right.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Giselle would fucking blast this song. This would be Giselle's favorite Taylor Swift song.
Oh, it would be. You're so right.
Go watch Enchanted.
It's so
and
good.
Enchanted 2, which got a little weird, but
don't
was
watch
fine.
Disenchanted.
Enchanted 2, Electric Boogaloo. 2 and 2 Chanted.
I almost made the same joke. Enchanted Tokyo Drift.
That's going to be the next one.
Okay. Whew. All right. So, getting into the lyrical breakdown, we start with walking through a crowd, the village is aglow. In this case, the village most likely means Greenwich Village, which is 1 mile north of Tribeca, which is where her penthouse was. Kaleidoscope of loud heartbeats under coats.
I feel like that line really gets lost in the production.
It gets lost. It's a really good line that I never even picked up on because the production is so like synthy and like and like you just don't know.
Yeah, you don't notice the bop of it all.
The bop of it all. And I just wrote, this is the MVP lyric of the song.
True.
Because it's saying that everybody is unique. All of their hearts are beating to different rhythms, to different songs, but they're all bustling around in the same place. And it's just showing the diversity in this town while also comparing it to a kaleidoscope, which is colorful and beautiful.
And it's like everything, 'cause also with a kaleidoscope is you throw a bunch of random shit in the end. Mm-hmm. And then when you look through it, refracts it into this really cool new thing where everything comes together to create something new. So it's like the city is all coming together, all these different people to create something beautiful, even if alone it might look like, because I know like you can make homemade kaleidoscopes with just like random like junk, like paper clips and like whatever. Mm-hmm. But then when you look through it, it looks beautiful.
Yeah.
So it's like that.
Also, I just love the amount that she says in like, how many words is that? 6 words. Because even saying they're under coats could be taken as it's literally cold, which it often is in New York, but also their heart is still protected by a layer of cushion, sort of situation, or they're guarded, which a lot of people in New York City will just walk around and just not give a shit, and I love that for them.
Yeah.
Because you got to be in New York.
I think that's why I could never enjoy living in New York, I've realized, which is why it's good I never lived there, because I think everybody's very independent, and I'm not good at that. I like need to talk to people at all times.
Yeah, I do talk to strangers often.
I know, that was like, I was really excited because my old apartment, like I didn't know any of my neighbors, like I didn't really talk to people, and here like literally like day one some of like people are just like, oh hi, I'm like, oh my gosh, hi.
That's nice. Now here's where I'm going to bring most of the depth into this song.
All right.
So she says, everybody here wanted something more, searching for a sound we hadn't heard before. So she's seeking something new and different from the life she had or the life she gave away. if we want to compare it to all, previous songs that we've been talking about these last few weeks. But she's saying that she's not alone in this. Everyone around her is going through a similar thing where they're seeking these changes. They have these big dreams. They went to the city where, quote, everything is possible, unquote, which isn't true, but that's sort of the mindset
The
you
general
have.
vibe of New York.
Unfortunately, I have compared this to Yo-Yok, where she says, I had a dream of getting out. She ran away. She called the taxi just to learn that my dreams aren't rare.
Spear actually started crying. That's how sad that is.
Spear added to the spreadsheet. This is why I think the song has just so much more to it than people give it credit for, because it's not supposed to be an accurate representation of the city. It's a hope, it's a dream, it's an aspiration. It's what she's telling herself the city is going to be like, because that's what she needs right now.
And I also think that she's, coming at it from the point of view of like a transplant and not as a like native New Yorker, which I think sometimes people get upset about because they get very defensive of New York City because it's such an amazing place. And like sometimes people move there and they hate it, and it's like, it's because of them, not because of the city.
Yeah.
But like a lot of times people move there because they're looking for like a new, more accepting, different place. Like you made me like the song.
I knew it. And the thing is, what? Why?
I wanted to dance.
Success! So, I love how you faded out. That's so professional of you.
Like when people walk on a talk show, they do the weird like hands clasped cheering motion.
All of this is to say that this song is her first moving into New York. It opens this album of all of her hopes and dreams of what her life is going to be. And then the rest of the songs are her being proven wrong.
She's like, welcome to New York. Let's make up a fake persona and then get dumped and commit vehicular manslaughter.
As one does.
It's just a New York transplant experience.
That's just how it be. Take it from us.
Two people who've never lived in New York City. But we were gonna maybe once.
We were gonna maybe once. Then the world said no. So then we get into this refrain. Welcome to New York. It's been waiting for you. This is repeated.
Foreboding.
Throughout.
It's been waiting for you.
It's been waiting for you.
This needs a horror movie redo.
It's been waiting for you.
Wide-eyed gaze has a whole new meaning. It's just like that weird horror movie, just like eyes too wide.
It's this zoom in where she's just like, ah! Anyway. Also, just the line, it's been waiting for you. New York City is known as the city that never sleeps. It's not waiting for shit. Like, what are you talking about? And this is, again, she's saying things that are clearly incorrect.
But also, I think that
that's the
a
point.
lot of time when people move to New York, like they find, if they end up loving it, it's because they find like their little niche. So it's like, it feels like once you click into place, it's like, oh, this is what I've been waiting for. It's been waiting for me too.
Mm-hmm.
That's always how I took that line.
That's true. Well, I think I got this quote from Genius, but because I'm reading it and I'm like, no way I wrote that. It's good. But it just says, the magnificent... Fuck. Okay.
I wish I could talk.
I'm not speaking now, if you catch my drift. Okay. The magnificent... What the fuck?
The speak now joke clicked like a second after you said it, so I was already laughing at that. Magnificent.
Is it magnificence? I feel like I'm missing a syllable. The magnificence.
No, that was right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The magnificent. Fuck.
Magnificence.
Wait, hold on.
There's this.
Hold on. The
magnificence
of the city can make moving there seem like a turning point in someone's life. This mirrors the sonic crossover in Taylor's music from country to pop.
Huh. Yeah, because this was also 1989 was her album where she was just like, I am now a pop star.
Mm-hmm. It's a pop album.
It's a pulp. No.
It's a pulp.
I was trying to think about combined pop and album.
It's a pulp.
But then it just sounds like problem. It's me. Hi. I'm the problem. It's me.
In the second verse, it's a new soundtrack. I could dance to this beat. Or that's not a verse, but just it's a new soundtrack. I could dance to this beat. That is melodically my favorite part of the song. I just think that's so fun and cute.
It is so good.
This also carries through the idea of it's a new soundtrack. It's a new sound for her.
Yeah.
It's one that you can really dance to because it is a pop album. A pop
very
album,
meta.
if you will. A pulp album.
Got 99 problems in this album's one. Like, what?
And Genius also wrote that New York makes her life feel like a movie, as though it's almost too good to be true. My boy was a montage. That sort of beat.
Which I think is great, because something I forgot to mention when we talked about Death by a Thousand Cuts is that the movie that song was inspired by was actually inspired by Clean.
Oh.
And so Clean inspired the movie, which is set in New York, and then she wrote the song about New York and heartbreak, and yeah.
Wow.
Just a little thoughtaroo.
Interesting. It's like when you sent me a song and then I wrote a song inspired by that song, and then you told me that you sent me the song because you thought it sounded like another song that I'd written.
The song, the meta songness.
Anyway. Also, this is kind of a full circle moment with New Romantics, which was the final
song.
The last song on the original album, not including the vault tracks, obviously.
Yeah, the last of the deluxe album.
Where she said, "We're too busy dancing to get knocked off our feet." So, okay. So then she says, "Forevermore." And I just wrote that this has only been used 3 times. I looked it up. 3 times. Thrice. It's used in this song. It's used in New Year's Day, You and Me Forevermore. And in Evermore, this pain wouldn't be forevermore. So she uses the concept of forever like a crap ton.
Yeah.
But this is the one of 3 times where she says like even longer than forever.
And also I think it's interesting that like it's this like synthy pop big fun song, and like this word does not fit that vibe. Forevermore.
No.
Like,
because it's fleeting. There's nothing forevermore about living in New York City.
that's the whole thing. It changes all the time.
It does. The lights are so bright, but they never blind me. So some people say that this is talking about the paparazzi. It could be. She's talked about the paparazzi in songs before. But to me, it's just like the city that never sleeps. There's always bright lights happening. There's always things going on. And she's saying that she can handle it. She's not going to be blinded by it or swallowed by it. Like,
Yeah, and some people get overwhelmed by like the quick pace and the chaos of New York City, and she's saying like never blinds me, like I'm in it.
yeah. Second verse. When we first dropped our bags on apartment floors, I just wrote, "Woo, happy new apartment, Cat." She did that yesterday.
I did.
Hey.
I dropped bags. My movers did.
Took our broken hearts, put them in a drawer. Randomly, making things sad. She's referencing the fact that she's moving away from something that broke her heart, but she's putting it in a safe place that she might return to later, like something that she can reflect on. She's putting it in a drawer in her new apartment.
I love that.
It's not gone. It's still there, but she's
Yeah.
putting it away for now.
We love a repression queen.
Repression queen. You know that we stand that. And legally, as a counselor, I have to say I don't stand repression. Okay.
I am a marketer. Repress that shit.
Everybody here was someone else before. So again, she's blending herself in with everyone else, emphasizes that concept of a fresh start. She's saying that they all have pasts that they're escaping. They all have baggage. She's literally unloading her baggage in the new apartment.
Yeah. And also like the idea that everybody changes when they move to New York City, because it's such a like insanely like it's a place that makes an impact on you.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't be the same person that you were when you moved to New York, because you're going to be fundamentally changed by the vibes.
Exactly. You can want who you want, boys and boys and girls. Gay rights.
Slay.
Gay rights.
What slay was that? That was the gay rights slay of
That
the
was
episode.
now that one. Yes, absolutely.
That is the correct use of slay.
Slay. We love that. And I just wrote that like New York City is one of the most diverse places in America you can go to, and very accepting. Especially like very progressive in terms of gay rights. Like,
yeah. I mean, like Stonewall riots, Pride started in New York.
And she also said that she wrote this song when gay marriage became legal in New York. And
Oh my God, she wrote the song on your birthday.
literally my whole life is one big gay Easter egg.
Easter egg.
Easter egg. That makes it sound like I'm a goose.
Easter
I'm not
egg.
multiple geese in a trench coat.
Wait, you're not? Get out of my house.
Anyway, so she's just like normalizing the fact that you should be able to come to a place and love who you love and be who you are.
You just roll up gay as hell and you're accepted.
The dream. Oh gosh, we go through the chorus again, and then we get to the bridge. Reading through this bridge, it's literally 4 lines, and I was like, this bridge is when you listen to it, you're not thinking about it. I'm going to make you think about it right now. This bridge compares the city to a new love in her life as opposed to the previous ones. But she says, I'm going to read the whole bridge to you, and then I'm going to reflect on it.
Fair enough.
Like any great love, it keeps you guessing. Like any real love, it's ever changing. Like any true love, it drives you crazy. That's not what love is. She's saying, great love keeps you guessing. No, it doesn't. Real love is ever changing. No, it's not. True love drives you crazy. It shouldn't. But that's like, what?
She's like, as you know, I've never had a stable relationship in my life.
Okay, well, relatable. When I was 19, when I was that age, 19. No, how old is she here?
25.
25.
No, 23 maybe, 25 when the album came out.
Anyway, just like how relatable to be like, it's just like this new love. You know, this is how love is. Shakes head aggressively. No, that's not what love is, baby girl.
It's like in I can sexy cure some cancer. That's not right, is it? No.
From the Mean Girls musical. Another thing is, like any great love, I just wrote, you said it was a great love, one for the ages, from Death by a Thousand Cuts.
Ouch.
Ouch. But anyway, she ends the bridge with, but you know you wouldn't change anything. So she's describing the city and comparing it to her previous relationships, but she's using
A little syllable, it's a treat.
But she's using negative aspects as if they're positive, and she's convincing herself that this will be different and that maybe the hectic, ever-changing, maddening nature of the city is comforting to her and that it's no crazier than what she's already been through.
Fair enough.
So that's Welcome to New York.
Where it's been waiting.
It's a fresh start where she's trying to leave everything behind, and that's why I think this song deserves more credit.
I second it. I'm behind it. I'm on board.
How do you guys feel about that? Did I change your mind? That's my discussion question for the polls. Did I change your mind about this song? I would really like to know. So that was that. We don't have hint songs for next week because for reasons that will be unveiled to you.
We have a guest we're really, really excited about.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for that and the first Crispy High Five.
In the new apartment. Exciting. All right.
We gotta do that again.
Okay.
There we go. That was a Crispy High Five.
Woohoo! Bye.
Bye.